Wondershare Video Converter Ultimate makes life easier by providing you with a variety of video tools.
We interrupt this program to give you a bulletin just received from one of our naval units at sea. A large object traveling at supersonic speed is headed over the North Atlantic.
Once a normal, voluptuously beautiful woman, she drove into a nightmare of horror and saw descending from the sky.
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
Ooh, I feel retrogasmic.
Retrogasmic. Retrogasmic.
Welcome to the Retrogasmic Podcast. I'm DD Deluxe. I hope you are all feeling fine and dandy. I hope you're living the dream. Today's show has vintage trivia. We have a B-movie review, The Monster That Challenged the World, from 1957. We have a graphic novel review, and we also have our old chums, the Recliner Rockers, in the studio telling us all about their brand new album.
And now, on with the show.
So, today's vintage trivia. This is a good one. What was the first proper Hollywood movie to use computer graphics? What was the first Hollywood movie to use computer graphics? Have a think. And so in the studio today, we have once again the Recliner Rockers. So we've got Jeff and Alan. How you doing, guys?
Hey, yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Now, you are the first people ever to do two shows. You're very, very lucky.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
or unlucky.
It's an honour.
Now, last time Jeff wasn't with us, you were away on holiday or climbing Mount Everest or hang gliding.
It was something like that, or I might have been a little bit sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with you. You guys have got a new album out.
Yep.
The release date is May the 11th.
That's right. The official release date, although we did do a bit of a pre-release at the Beach Hop.
Okay.
Yep. But officially May the 11th.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's out on CD, I know that. I can see it in front of me. Very nice it is too. And all the normal digital stuff?
It will be. Not yet, but
okay,
it will be.
On the release date.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, and I know you're planning a big release party in town, but that's yet to be confirmed, so hopefully...
Yeah, a venue to be confirmed.
So by the time I finish editing this, I should have had a text from you confirming the venue, and I can drop it in later. So Begging Bowl, great title. From a musician's point of view, I understand entirely why you've called it that, but do you want to give us a bit of background on the title?
Begging Bowl is one of the songs on the album. I think Steve was keen to, and you agreed, didn't you, to use it as the title of the album?
Like the ring of the name, and we like the song, but also, the imagery that goes with it. Yeah.
So it's not as, I'm being an old skeptic, but I've done many a gig where you kind of think, we're not going to afford the petrol on the way home until we sell some CDs. So you start plugging the CD. Is there an element of that in there?
Well, maybe subliminally, but not consciously.
Okay.
Well, there is an aspect of that. We're hanging out for crumbs. A lot of musicians are.
Yeah.
Waiting for the leftovers.
Yeah. It's not the easiest way of earning a living, for sure. So you did Beach Hop. As always, we're always playing at different places too. So
yes.
we didn't get to see. In fact, for once, normally we're on the same stage on the Saturday lunchtime.
But we weren't this time.
How did it go? How'd you go on?
It was good. Beach Hop's always been a big thing for us. Noddy does a great job of organising it. And it's always a hard weekend, but it's always a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
And you guys did the Sunday morning one, so we didn't have to get up early.
9:30 a.m. start.
Oh, yeah.
When we'd finished at just gone midnight the night before.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah. So how many shows did you do in the...
Oh, we did... our first one was on Onimana Beach during the day on Friday, and then Bucks Bar Friday night. on the street on Saturday, and then Bucks Bar Saturday night, so 4 all up.
Yeah, same as us.
Yeah.
It's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, and then in between we try and catch as many other bands as we can.
Yeah.
And in your short breaks, you can't stray too far, but we try. Yeah.
That's great. So, let's get back to the album. Tell me a little bit about the process of putting it all together, because I don't think kind of non-musicians listening will understand the sheer amount of work, the organisation, and the cost of actually going from writing the songs to actually having a physical product in your hand.
Yeah. Well, Alan is the sole songwriter of the band. We will contribute. We do. As a bass player, I put in my personality and my parts, and Steve puts in his to come up with a final product. But it usually starts with an idea of Alan's. Who he comes along with a song and a guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about the physical thing? I mean, where did you record it? Where did you mix it? Who did the mastering? Who does your artwork for you? I mean, all that kind of stuff. People think albums just kind of fall out the sky, you know?
Yeah. Well, we spent quite a few hours at Roundhead Studios. Yep. That's Neil Finn's studio, with the guy Paddy, and he was really good. Great creative atmosphere, good place. More hours than we expected, and that's not uncommon with as most musicians out there will identify with this.
How long did it take?
Putting the album together or writing the songs?
The recording
a couple of months, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, we did 5 sessions.
Yeah, it was 5 sessions.
Probably about 50 hours in total.
Yeah. Okay.
And not too bad for 13 tracks.
No.
When you consider some bands can take years, months to do it. So it wasn't quite as quick as we expected. Unfortunately, we had a couple of hiccups on the way. A couple of things went wrong, but we got there in the end. It was a little bit fraught sort of process, you know. It was.
It's all part of the fun.
It always is. Yeah.
And we had some really good guest artists on there.
Yeah, you've got Marion on violin.
Yeah. Marion Burns, fantastic violinist.
On the Haunted House?
She's on about 4 tracks, I think, or 3 or 4 tracks. Fantastic person to work with too, because when she's just got this big personality, the place just lights up.
Fantastic.
When she's there, it lifts everyone, and it comes across in her playing.
Great stuff. You've got Kendall Elise on one track?
Yeah, Kendall Elise. She's on a few tracks actually. Was it 3 tracks, I think? She's amazing to work with. She's so much fun. She just brings life into it, and what a voice!
Yeah, no, great voice.
What
a real pro as well.
She's doing really well out there. She's got a huge profile, and she deserves everything she gets. She works hard.
No, absolutely.
So very lucky to get her on there, as well as getting Bruce Madden. He's the go-to guy for keyboards. Plays anything, any style. He's got his own band, Juice on the Loose.
Oh yeah.
And he can just pull any style out, and he always just does exactly what you have in your head. You
Fantastic,
say, play this.
He took advantage of some of the great facilities at Roundhead as well. There was an old upright piano which sounded fantastic, which we put on a track called Lula May. And we also pulled the big Hammond B3 down from upstairs.
With a Leslie speaker?
With the Leslie.
Yeah.
The full works. And nothing else works as well as that on blues stuff.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, let's kick off with one of those songs that Marion was playing on. Let's have a listen to Haunted House.
In your hands, I put my life in your hands. I gave you my heart and my mind and my soul. left me cold. I broke my back to build a home. I broke my back to build a home. I built it with sweat and my blood and my bones. Now I'm in this house all alone. In your hands, I put my life in your hands. I gave you my heart and my mind and my soul. You turned your back and left me cold. Build a home. I broke my back to build a home.
Fantastic stuff. So my personal favourite, Zombie Love, which I insist we play. You guys have been playing that live for quite a while. That's got a couple of guests on it as well, I believe.
Yeah, Edwina Thorne,
Trumpet.
trumpet player. She's colourful character and colourful in her playing as well. So we wanted some colour in that, and Edwina fit the bill perfectly.
Brilliant. So you've got a real larger than life thing going on.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that Zombie Love. Yeah, we've been playing that for what, 2 or 3 years now?
2 years. I think.
2 years, and it's always been a favourite. It's always been one that we demoed it once, and we had it available on a demo that we sold it as a Beach Hop special once. But we wanted to do a better version of it, give it what it deserves, and that's why it's there on this album. It's the song that gets the most comments, isn't it, Al?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and when you wrote it for your granddaughter.
My grandson asked me. He said, "Why don't you write a song about zombies?" And I wrote it, and I played it for my granddaughter, Bella. He said yes, she liked it. But when I played it to my grandson Wyatt, who'd asked for it, he wouldn't listen to it. He was too scared. He said zombies freak him out. Why did you do that?
Bless.
Well, there you go.
All right. Well, let's crack in and have a listen. This is Zombie Love.
Her skin was pale, her hair was red. She was pretty, but she was dead. And she kept on coming around. We dug a hole 10 feet deep to put her in, but she wouldn't sleep, and we couldn't keep her down. stretched my door. She threw her dice across my floor, and from the darkness she called my name. Her lips were cold, her tongue was ice, her legs had gripped me like a vice, as she pulled me into her game. I don't want her zombie love, and I pray to the Lord above. I'm not the one she's dreaming of. Take my hand in a dance, lead me round in a trance. I don't know what's come over me. Strange music fills the air as she whispers into my ear. You will never, ever be free. Her skin was pale, her hair was red. She was pretty, but she was dead, and she kept on coming around. We dug a hole 10 feet deep to put her in, but she wouldn't sleep, and we couldn't keep her down. I don't want her zombie love, and I pray to the Lord above. I'm not the one, I'm not the one she's dreaming of.
My favourite, love it. So, the last song I would like to play, and it's hard to be honest, it's a real good album. Hats off to you guys, there's some great songs on there, very nicely produced as well. Lula May, I'm sure there's some guests on that, someone tell me, yes?
Yeah, we used Bruce Madden, who plays piano on that, and plays it just so well, better than we could have imagined. We just let him loose on it and then just play to it.
Fantastic.
And then you'll hear what comes out. Bruce is a great guy. He's along with we've got two Bruces.
Yes,
Bruce, of course, Bruce French and Bruce Madden. Bruce Madden is he plays in a lot of the tribute bands, the Blues Brothers band, the Who 60s covers band, and he can cover any style and do it so well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we're very lucky to have him.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
It's a good product. You've done some good stuff. We released our album the same time you guys did, so we've kind of been through the same grueling but fun process. Recording a double bass, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Engineers always look at you as if to say, okay. Now, we did a mixture of microphones kind of placed high and low, and direct in, and we locked her in a soundproof cupboard with a glass window so she wasn't feeding back, and she was a bit ostracised, poor girl, but it worked really well and it sounded great. How did you
Well, on this album, I'm using 2 different double basses. Some of them, for a more natural tone, I borrowed one of my good friend Bill Newens, who had a nice, open, fully acoustic bass, which we did that. We put a mic in front of it, we baffled it, isolated me, and I played alongside the band. But Mr. Horse is the bass that I'm known for. It's more or less an upright electric bass now, so I can just play him along with the band. Over the years, Mr. Horse has developed into this. It started as a natural double bass, but has become this hybrid beast.
So there won't be many people in New Zealand that haven't seen you guys play live, so they'll know what we're talking about. But for our listener in America and the one in the UK and the man in Iceland, hello. Just tell them, describe Mr. Horse.
Okay, Mr. Horse is a black double bass, originally 1950s Czechoslovakian bass. I got hold of the bass when I first started in rockabilly and psychobilly back in the 80s, and has developed them over the years. He's got a horse for a head with flashing eyes. My brother, who makes props for movies and television, gifted that to me. So many different pickup arrangements and things have been on him, but at the moment I've got 3 pickups, one on the bridge, one under the neck for the slap, and another one on the end of the bridge for the more defined finger sound. Like no other bass that there is, really. And Mr. Horse has been with me for 25 years or more. So
now, you climb on it, and
I climb on it.
Alan stands on it and plays guitar solos. You hit it with drumsticks. I think I've seen you do everything to it apart from set it on fire.
Yeah, well, that's next. I don't think I'd get past health and safety.
How reinforced is it, and how did you do
Well, basically, Mr. Horse has been broken so many times and repaired so well that it's bulletproof.
Okay.
Everything's bolted down, including the bridge. The bridge is made of aluminium, and super reinforced with marine grade glue and all sorts of things.
So it wasn't intentional. It just at each time it broke from your kind of performance misuse, shall we say?
Yeah.
You repaired it stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's been it's full of screws and nails and things, and it's when I've taken it into Hewitt's fiddle shop to have the bridge fitted properly, it's almost embarrassing because they look at it and go, "What is that?" but they're characters in that shop and they know my bass now.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Yeah.
All right, so let's listen to the last of the songs we're going to play today. This is Lula May. Any background to this, Alan? Is that a real person, or is it
Lula May? No, Lula May is just a naughty girl.
Okay.
The funny thing is that there's a line that goes, every time I beat my chest, you just smile and hike your dress. One of my grandsons said, "Papa, what does that mean?" And I said, "Well, go and ask your mother."
Okay. This is Lula May.
Tree. You made a first-class flunky monkey out of me. Every time I beat my chest, you just smile and pack your dress. Lula May, you use me shamelessly. Every night I come straight home to you, but there's always something else for me to do. When I say I need my rest, you just smile and hike your dress. Lula May, use me shamelessly. He made a first-class funky monkey out of me. Every time I beat my chest, well, you just smile and hike your dress. Lula May, you use me shamelessly. Every night I come straight home to you, but there's always something more for me to do. When I say I need my rest, well, you just smile and hike your dress. Lula May, you know me through and through.
So, the new CD, you have got a rather interesting competition coming up, is that right?
Yeah, well, this is the first because we haven't said this anywhere else yet, not even on our Facebook page, Recliner Rockers on Facebook. Yeah. Not the Reclining Rockers, that's another band in Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Reclining Rockers was one of those armchair things.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there is a band called the Reclining Rockers.
Oh, really? Okay.
We're the Recliner Rockers. So, yeah, I haven't said this anywhere yet, but for our album release, with every sale of an album, people are going to go into a draw, and the winner have to be there on the night. We're going to draw a name out of a hat, wins the band for a night.
Wow! So anyone that's bought the CD, so that's whether that's through Facebook or
well,
however
they have to. They at the moment you have to buy it there, and you have to be there on the night.
Oh, okay.
We'll organise something for people who may already have the album. We'll work out another way that they can buy a ticket or something. But somebody...
So this will be at the release party
at
that
the
we're
release
going
party.
to announce where it is later on in the show.
That's right. Somebody is going to win a free gig from the Recliner Rockers.
So you guys, in theory, could just turn up to someone's house and do a show in their lounge.
Yeah, as long as noise control allows it.
Yeah.
So it's open to anyone who buys a CD, not to music venues and people that that's in the commercial sense. But if somebody's having a wedding, we've got a lot of fans who have asked for quotes and things and have had to say, oh look, I'm sorry, I can't afford it, or that sort of thing. So I'm hoping it goes to one of those people.
Sure. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Okay, as soon as we've got some information on that, I will make sure everyone knows about it. That's great stuff. Well, look, thank you again. Best of luck with the album, and best of luck with the release on May the 11th, which will be at the, and he leaves a big pause so we can edit in the venue. Right. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.
So just a cheeky update from the guys. Their launch party is confirmed for Saturday the 11th of May. It's free entry, and it'll be at 57 Albert Street in Auckland City Centre at a venue called Ellis Road. That's 57 Albert Street, May the 11th. Go down there, check them out, and you might even win the band for free.
An upheaval of nature tears loose a creature out of the nightmare of time. Spawned by an earthquake on the bed of the ocean, a reptilian, earth-shaking beast of the sea. The monster that challenged the world.
My tank.
What's wrong?
Blake's tank is caught in the undergrowth.
God! What happened? Oh, my God, it's his body. He died right in front of me. I couldn't help him. I better go back.
Talk sense. What's down there?
I don't know. I never saw anything like it before.
It's the size of a dinosaur, and 10 times more terrifying, hurling the horrors of the unknown at every living thing. Monster of the age.
That was the trailer from the 1957 film The Monster That Challenged the World. I'll just read you the blurb. In this horror film, an underwater earthquake in the Salton Sea yields up the eggs of long-extinct sea monsters. Once hatched, the monsters' offspring sustain themselves by sucking the life forces of various unlucky human land dwellers. Even worse, these horrendous creatures procreate at an incredible rate. Yeah, I mean, we saw the trailer from this and thought, yeah, this will be fantastic, it will be terrible. But it's not actually that bad. There's some fairly good special effects. The script isn't bad. I mean, some of the kind of the logic and the supposed science behind it is ridiculous, but, you know, we're talking giant underwater caterpillars, so it's not going to be Einstein. But, you know, it's obviously very, very low budget. But there's some decent-ish acting in it, and a nice mixture of kind of romance, military, doomed teenagers, and there's a few real good kind of make-you-jump shock scenes. So, yeah, good. I reckon 3.87 out of 5, but definitely worth the beer and the popcorn.
Ooh, I feel retrogasmic.
So, how did you get on with the trivia? Thought this was a bit of a tricky one, but this is real interesting. CGI is kind of part of everything we watch. In fact, some movies now are more CGI than they are anything else. But when was it first used in a proper Hollywood movie? Well, I'll tell you, it was in Vertigo in 1958, the Hitchcock movie. It was only used in the intro sequence, the kind of the credit sequence, but that was the earliest computer graphics. So, I want to talk about a graphic novel I came across called The Motherless Oven by Rob Davis. It's not strictly retro or vintage, although the kind of the hypothetical era it's set in definitely looks kind of Britain in the 1950s, and the drawing style is very much kind of black and white pen and ink style, which has that 1950s kind of feel to it. The thing that struck me most about this is the intelligence behind it. It's an astonishing piece of work. Let me read you the sleeve notes. In Scarpa Lee's world, parents don't make children, children make parents. Scarpa's father is his pride and joy, a wind-powered brass construction with a billowing sail. His mother is a Bakelite hairdryer. In this world, it rains knives and household appliances have souls. There are no birthdays, only death days. Scarpa knows he has just 3 weeks to live. As his death day approaches, he is forced from his routine and strikes out into the unknown, where friendships are tested and authority challenged. And this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of the nature of this piece of work. It's from a teenage point of view, but it's not sickly and full of horrible angst. It's very, very nicely put together. The artwork, every frame, every page composition is beautiful. And the story itself, it would make a fantastic movie. I highly recommend, even if you're not really into graphic novels, try and grab this from the library. It's called The Motherless Oven by Rob Davis, and you won't be disappointed. I've had this for a week from the library, and I've already read it 3 times.
Retrogasmic.
And that is the end of the show. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. If you're listening on Apple, please leave us a review. It really, really helps people to see the podcast. Thank you to FeedSpot, who voted us number 1 in the top 10 vintage podcasts in the world. Thank you very much. Very nice of you. If you fancy a bit of original Kiwi rock and roll and rockabilly, jump onto Bandcamp, check out Boom Boom Deluxe's most excellent new album. It's called Teenage Juvenile Delinquent Rock and Roll Horror Beach Party. It's worth buying just because it's got a cool name. We will see you next week. Bye.
Retrogasmic.